every week. Xenos, on the other hand, they have the skill, they have the capability, they can go toe-to-toe with teams such as Enix if they get the right players working with the gun skill. Look at Kenders, look at Murph. If they're playing top of their game, then they will well it. I would say there's a lot more pressure on Radix playing the way they did against Enix rather than the Radix we seen play last week.
Absolutely. Well, let's get into this game then before we talk some more about that one. It's going to be a kitchen and trophy. That's me trying to mix two words together. Not a good idea. Kitchen and trophy room hold coming through to kick things off for 1UP. Now, you spoke a lot about their upstairs hold for the most part before they drop down into kitchen trophy. This is the big one, big scary strat that you say they have.
Yeah. They're going to do it.
They're going to do it.
As soon as you see the Mira head straight upstairs, and you automatically know we're going to see this top floor hold. Essentially, what they are trying to accomplish is they have their smoke player inside the B bomb site inside the trophy. So smoke again is going to be great for denying anybody going for that quick jump in, like we've seen Proxa. I believe it was last week we seen him go for that quick jump in towards that kitchen trophy. And if the attackers do gain control of that trophy area, then it is a big pain for the defenders to then try and retake that. So essentially they're trying to keep this upstairs hold, so then a Buck can't come in and do what Buck does great and with the destructibility and the angles. Instead, this time they are going to try and deny all of that and then also go for a quick retake, as they do have drop hatches available for themselves and also jump outs out of windows. And it's just a big retake, but primarily Kiza inside that trophy is going to be that linchpin for 1UP.
Of course, XKS stepping in this case on Vexed in place of Scythe. So they've got all their other members still intact. And we've heard very good things about SKS. Him and Murph came in the middle of the season with a lot of fanfare. And both took different amounts of time, I think, to really show us what they were made of. Murph's still kind of taking his time to really step up and become the prodigy that everyone has called him to be. But SKS's impact alongside guys like EJ, definitely starting to see that early.
Mop with the first kill on the board. That was a quick run out on that office balcony, and then has ripped down that window so he can't actually try and peek this library hallway, of course. It seems to be that 1UP aren't putting any pressure at all in towards that library area, so this has allowed Vex just to push in up. And this is going to be their main beachhead, their main staging ground, of course. But they will be moving into essentially one-way traffic from Mop, and also the other members still upstairs.
Got to try and clear out that top floor first, which is what makes this so hard. It's like meeting room when you're playing on Oregon. You've got to clear that out before you can assault the actual point itself. It is no different here. And taking this top floor is so difficult because 1UP have got this strat down to a T. And again, Mop finds his second kill onto XKS. This is a great start for 1UP so far.
This is where we talk about that Vexed isn't strat-oriented. I'm sure that they've never played against this before, as again, Kiza being that linchpin does get the kill on the EJ, who I believe that was going to be in the Great Hall he got that kill. But we talked about how Vexed weren't ready for the different strats that, like we've seen them play against Horizon, they couldn't deal with particular strategies. These guys have never seen this strategy because 1UP didn't have this whenever they first played. And Mop is going to get himself another kill. Great hold, flawless hold from 1UP.
And that's exactly what you were speaking about. You were saying this strategy piece is where Vexed have a weakness, and the best thing you can do against the team who has a weakness is to exploit that as best you can. Don't strictly try and match them in gun skill, don't try and get in better players to match that, but just beat them out with the sheer tactics, and that's exactly what 1UP did. 3 kills going across the Mop, nothing on the scoreboard for Vexed, and that is very unlike them not to win at least one of those 1v1 trades.
We look at PC a lot, and we say that the gun skill in PC is equal. Everybody in PC can shoot a gun. That is why strats are the decider in who wins the game and who loses the game. Looking at the way that 1UP are playing, they know that Vex do have that slight edge of the gun skill. That is whenever then they rely so heavily on the strats, knowing that Vex don't have that knowledge of some of their holds. And it has worked out for them, so it's exactly how I'd expected it to work with these top floor holds, with these mid floor holds, with these crazy strategies. But then Vex, we know that they are a bit of a counter-strat team. They lose a round and then they start to reevaluate what went wrong, what they need to do better. Then they exploit the weaknesses and they beat you from that stage. Vex maybe 3-0 down and then they come back and they wipe you 5-3. So it's still early days, but nonetheless 1UP with a very strong showing. And this is where Vex might be getting a bit worried.
Possibly, but I think it's very early days for Vexed to feel too rattled. If it was at the point where it was 2, maybe 3-0, then yes. And it may well be after this round. Of course, 1UP might have this excellent defense, but there are only so many times that you can use it. Maybe twice if they're lucky, but beyond that, well, Vex generally, you would think, would have the upper hand, unless, of course, 1UP have been practicing other strats in a bid to try and catch Vexed out.
Seems to be that the upstairs is going to be that prize for 1UP. There, they have some of the best runners inside the league. They are a very good clear-out team. They want to control the map as much as they can with their room clear-out coming out from Mop and Kimbe. Mop is going to pick up a Sophia, an operator that we have seen quite a bit of a rise in, as she is going to be more of a roamer rather than a destructibility breacher, as she does have then them concussion mines, which can be used at any stage to clear out a room, for example. Also a great gun, also 2 armor, can revive herself in some situations. Doesn't happen a lot, but still has a pretty good kit, and I do like her as a Slayer.
I do like, again, this double roaming combo of the Ella and the Visual coming out. I love seeing it because the effectiveness, again, of the two of them together just creates so much pressure. Speaking of pressure, Proxy almost finding one, but just not quite managing to finish that kill off. Did at least get some 25% damage down away from the Thatcher. It's not a ton, but it at least reminds him that Proxy is here and is ready to kill. However, Kimbe will get the first kill onto Diff in this game.
This is going to be a quick push in from 1UP. They know that the guy inside B is... Actually, they know that nobody's going to be inside B, so they can't take advantage of this. Nyx is going to get the kill on the Mob. He did go for this quick push, but the rest of the 1UP lineup are going to come in. Nigma gets the kill on the Nyx, and then a double down, it seems to be as well. From the kitchen window gets the kill on the AJs. Last 2 men up are going to be them roamers, XKS and also Proxy. XKS on a sliver of HP. Diffuser does get planted at this stage. 1UP should win the round. All they have to do is hold an angle, and we talked about how it is going to be so hard for the defending team to retake the trophy, and it seems to be going that way. Nigma gets the kill, XKS gets the kill into the down Kimbe, but nonetheless, a great push from 1UP, and they are going to be going 2-0 inside this match.
Impressive stuff from
really
1UP
impressive
so far. Vex not looking like the team that we have seen in previous weeks, and I thought after a couple of weeks ago when they lost that game to Horizon, they would have stepped up a bit and sharpened, if nothing else, ahead of LAN. But, well, what can you say about that? Only 2 kills in 2 rounds. That is probably the quietest start to a game we've ever seen Vexed have.
This is a new 1UP team, which we have not seen before. This is looking really scary, not just for Vex at this stage, but the rest of the competition. Those are the best 2 rounds of Chalet I think we've seen so far in the Premiership. They were, I believe it was a 3-1 victory and a flawless. That is really hard to do, especially in a map like Chalet, where you're expecting a lot of trade-outs, you're expecting a lot of gunfights, a very heavy roam game, of course. At that stage, 1UP were smart enough to know, okay, Vex, they revolve around a very heavy roam game. They might not have the best anchors, and at that stage, Vex, they didn't bring a smoke, which is a big operator for denying that trophy. They didn't even have anybody in trophy.
That was my concern. I was just about to say, as soon as you finished speaking, I was going to say, within 45 seconds, 1UP were inside trophy. Vexed had no answer. They had 2 members stood in there, watching through into kitchen, into dining room. They had the 2 roamers upstairs, but the roamers were just a little bit too far away. They were nowhere near what was going on, not even near the stairs near trophy to keep an eye and try and get some angles through onto that window. There was literally nothing for them. They just gave 1UP that round for free, I think, purely because of the defensive mishap.
And it's not even as if if they did have a guy in trophy, he was going to get pressured. They didn't even bring a buck. It's not as if you're going to get bucked from below and you're going to be forced to move out. You're going to get capoed, yinged. A smoke could have sat in there quite happily and just won the round from that stage, but in this circumstance, Vex, they didn't realise that nobody was going to be in trophy. They tried to defend it more from dining, but having Willow on that kitchen window with that cut off them rotations did help them a lot in that push. But we will be seeing our first garage hold for 1UP. They're going to be bringing a castle to the table. No Mira, which is surprising. Typically we see Miras being stuck inside the wine stock and also on the wall, either looking in towards the wine cellar or also in towards the snowmobile. But this is the kitchen and this is going to be the kitchen and trophy hold that I was talking about, where they want to waste as much time as they can and really beat Vex then to start trying to push them from this angle. Sledge is going to come in and start opening up this vertical play, but Mop is going to be safe behind that castle barricade, of course. Already a minute down, no kills as of yet, but I'm sure the kills will be coming in thick and fast. I say that XKS gets one, but then Willow gets the trade out, and then XKS gets a double kill, and Next gets another one on the Kizza. So, seems to be a failed attempt of a kitchen and trophy hold for 1UP. as Vex have completely annihilated that hold. Last one up is going to be Nigma. One of possibly the quickest rounds we've seen so far inside Premiership.
I have a few words to say once this round is most definitely over, but Nigma, they know exactly where he is. The problem is they're all funneling through one direction here. They can rush in here, they can make this work.
Oh.
The double spray down coming through for Nigma so far. It's now to 1 versus 2. Can they get the next one up? If he uses that C4 correct. Oh, watching the corner, they're not watching the right corner, unfortunately. Takes himself down to half health. Try and get up. Here comes the C4. He's on time. Gets the one, but it's not going to be enough. He got the double, but it does not matter because XKS was too fast on his feet and brings Nigma down. But that was almost the 4K turnaround. That was so close.
Best sloppiness from Vexed.
I was going to say, before that round even kicked off, Vex said to me at the very, very start of the Prem, we win when we have fun. Losing is not fun. For these guys, unless they're running around, enjoying themselves, having a laugh, it's why they've been renowned for their teabagging, all the rest of it, that's how they enjoy themselves. If they are not having fun, they start to lose. In their case, it got to the end of that second round, they must have thought to themselves, right, this isn't fun anymore, we need to get serious and win this. And they either tilt or they play incredibly well. That round was them playing incredibly well. Still sloppy, but just raw skill. The raw fact they were so determined to win was what won them that round, I think, rather than so much a misplay by 1UP, because 1UP, they had some good positions still. And even towards the end of that, Vex threw 4 people through one doorway. And straight away I was thinking, why on earth would you throw 4 through there, knowing that the final defender, an anchor, has a C4 to throw at you, and they still chose to push and almost lost the round because of it. They still won, so at least there's some new hope for them there. They have that combat potential, and they know they've got it in them to win this back. But 1UP, again, they will steel themselves and go, guys, we're 2-1 up. That round was incredibly close. We can still win this. Don't lose heart just yet.
10 seconds left.
So we will be moving on into a kitchen and trophy once again for Vex. An interesting thing that I did pick up is the fact that Next used his C4 as a connector rather than a destructibility device. Typically we'd see Valkyrie keep on their C4 as that can come into good coordination with her cameras. Possibly if another teammate is tagging them, then she can C4 them straight away. But this stage, Valkyrie is just going to be used for her cameras, not really so much for the destructibility that can be used, of course, onto the floor. Pulse is still going to be picked up, I believe, by Def, so he is going to give that intel gathering. Intel gathering on the side of Vex, Valkyrie cameras and Pulse. Still no smoke, which is a bit of a worry, as we know that smoke is so good for defending that trophy area, of course. Def, again, picking up this intel is going to give a lot of call-outs for them rumors. They're going to know exactly where they are. And mostly, having that cardiac scanner inside the dining lets the rumors know if they're starting to push in towards that library corridor so then they can go for these gunfights. Because if the attacking team is going to be sat inside the bedroom, then Vex don't need to push. They just need to wait, hold their angles, and let 1UP push them.
Just holding on to the C4 and from firing anything, just being super cautious with it. Doesn't want to give away his position, doesn't want to go for any fire that will just result in him being compromised and getting dropped pretty quick. Goes to the C4 though. Oh, gets Willow as well. Well placed by Diff, and that is what Patience can do. Vex never struck me as a patient team, but Diff showed exactly that, and it's rewarded in kind.
Excellent play from Def. That was the wrong moment for Willow to start droning. That is, of course, whenever you know a pulse could be on the defending team, then you need to keep moving. Kimbe does get that long arrow on the proxy, as very common angle used by many players, caught for that rotation, of course. And this is where Mob and Kimbe are going to look to go for the fight on the XKS. They know he's going to be by himself. They took out his teammate proxy. That's going to be one of the roaming duo down. XKS does get a down and does get the kill, but immediately traded out by Kimbe. We talk about how 1UP are a team that work as a pair. They trade off automatically as soon as someone dies. Valkyrie camera inside the Great Hall does get spotted out straight away. Still 2 Valkyrie cameras, one outside looking at that single window and the other one on that west main staircase area. Vexed holding strong, 2 inside trophy. Def inside this kitchen hallway. Can't play aggressive out this west main and start trying to shoot up the stairs, but a dining push, I'd imagine, will be coming in from 1UP, as it is going to be the most viable area for them to start pushing in from. But the way that Vexed are set up, they should defend it.
Make sure they're holding on to that diffuser as well. I don't want to drop that in too much of a hurry. So don't forget that one, boys. You'll need that one very, very shortly, I'm sure. They know there's one in kitchen. Like, Kimbe's got hold of the window. Just can't see that one man just took. Oh, what a butt! The grenade is all they will need to pick 1UP there. As EJ going down, that means kitchen is now open.
10 seconds to go.
They need to go for this push. 5 seconds to go. Kizza is going to go for the plant. Kembe gets a kill on the next Def.
Oh,
Gets
they
shut
did it!
down by Nigma, and 1UP do secure the round. What a frag grenade from Sledge in that scenario. Questionable play again for me, just again nitpicking. I'm unsure why Def decided to rotate downstairs. He was in the position beside West Main to shut down anybody pushing in from that dining. Why would he not just sit there and wait for the push to come in? You had 30 seconds left on the clock. You knew that was going to be the only option, as a suicide hatch drop was going to be off the table for 1UP, as most teams are. And then the Valkyrie camera outside looking towards a single window lets you know if they're going to go for that push. So dining was the only option. I'm confused why we not just hold an angle and just let 1UP run into the crossfire.
Attackers need to locate and defuse.
And I think at the end of that round as well, one thing we saw is what you've touched on already, is 1UP's team play and communication. While that bomb was going down, they had 2 or 3 different angles all being covered. And that one where it was watching from dining room, that was the perfect one to close the round out for them. I've got to hand it to Nigma as well. He's been one of the top fraggers in this game as well, joint at 6 kills with Kimbe. I spoke earlier on and said my worry with them was about who was going to step up alongside Kimbe and deliver for this team. In the past it's been Mop, in the past it's been Kizza. Today it's Nigma, and as long as Kimbe is on form and they have at least 2 top fraggers, they're in a great situation. On the other side though, it's not looking so hot. Proxy hasn't really stepped up the way I thought he was, and again, that volatility is what worries me about Vexed. If they aren't having fun, they aren't delivering, they aren't performing, and they aren't winning. This is a big game for them as well. This is their chance to cement themselves as the best team. And 1UP so far are making this look like they're playing against a suboptimal team, a team that they can walk over like they have done previously. Vex having only 1 good round so far. Everything else has been 1UP.
It appears to be that both these teams have decided to challenge each other on their best maps. Vexed saying, okay, we'll let Chalet through, we'll play you in Chalet. Okay. 1UP we'll let Cafe through and play in Cafe. So it is going in the way that we're expecting 1UP. This is going to be one of their strongest maps in their map pool. Another thing about 1UP is that their map pool is so strong in a lot of maps. The only one that I haven't seen them play at all would be Skyscraper. That is the only one, but again, it's a very niche pick map for many teams. A map that I'm not too fond of as well, just because there's no real drop hatches or balconies. I don't really like the way that a defenders could run out at any moment and kill you while you're repelling in to actually get into a viable position to push the bomb site. But Chalet, again, a map which is so strong for 1UP. We know the different strats are upstairs holds there, mid floors where they hold the dining with the castle barricades. We are going to see already Vex go to deficit, but XKS is going to get it straight away. 1 minute 44 on the clock. EJ with a quick swing around in towards this dining door area. Does get the kill on the Nigma. 1 minute 30. It seems a bit more aggression coming out from Vex, trying to push in from this dining. But hopefully, at this stage, it should be Keza just completely slowing down this push with them gas grenades. Shotgun as well is going to be used in these close range environments, and also an SMG-11 to absolutely shred anybody who wants to try and take a gun battle long range.
Opening up that downstairs rotation hole, Kizza, just in case he needs to make a flee. He's managing to hold out with his smoke grenades. However, I'm slightly concerned that he's gone through 3 of them now, in the case where they could really use them in the last few seconds of this round. There is still a minute to play for, meaning Vex are in a situation here where they can't really be denied. Kizza watching this angle so diligently, just ready for EJ to charge in, but it's not happening yet.
Vex are gearing towards this west main side. XKS and Def. Possibly Def could go for this double wall, which he is going to go for. XKS shuts down Kembe, going for a flank next. Also on that kitchen window, EJ gets it down. This seems to be the Vex of old that we have talked about how strong they have been, and they definitely are showing it last minute Mop. Even though as much as I think he is a good player, I do not see him clutching. Does get that kill on to Nixiano, but is going to start to get pressured by the rest of Vex. Does see the planter, however. Bomb does get planted. Flash grenades go in. And at this stage, Vexed should win the round unless Mop pulls off the greatest clutch that I've ever seen on a Chalet match. Good stuff from Vexed.
We've seen crazier stuff today, let's be honest. We've seen some pretty nutty stuff. However, you are against Vexed, and they are not going to be a team to lose out many of these gun duels. Let's see what he can do. Half the time left on that bomb. They're holding these angles so well. Goes to the run and gets one onto EJ. That's one of the big fraggers down for this team. Second one at the window, though. He's not going to be able to see him in time. And Infuse will get him from outside. Infuse? XKS. Sorry, we'll get him from outside. And Vex win another round, at least down to 3 and 2. But 1UP now go back on the defense where they've looked the best so far. On the attack, sorry, where they've looked pretty sharp so far.
believe this will be another kitchen trophy for Vexed, unless they decide to go for a wine cellar. We haven't seen them pick that up yet. Their previous attempts at a kitchen trophy hold has been null and void. Let's see if they're going to mix it up. XKS leading with 9 kills. Proxy, your man, on 0 and 5.
And look at everyone else as well. I mean, across the board, realistically, yeah, literally XKS at this point is carrying the team through it. EJ had a pretty good round last round, but the first 4 rounds, he was asleep. We saw nothing coming from him.
Attackers need to locate.
I'm just concerned once again for Vex. They need someone else to step up here. Maybe it's going to be after that last round we start seeing EJ joining XKS in the ranks of top carries for his team in this game. And 1UP, 3 members on 6 kills. Exactly what you expect from a team like these guys, who all pull together, who all make the plays together as a unit. The real question is, can they still be able to face off against XKS? I feel if they deal with XKS early in the round, they'll be in a good spot. And they have done that a couple of times so far today, but they've got to catch him out at least consistently. 3 and 2, they would have much preferred this to be a 4-on-1 at this point, I think. The Vexed fighting back on a map that isn't theirs nonetheless.
Kitchen trophy is where they will be going. 1UP with the Sophia from Mop, like we previously have seen. Typically, we'd see him bringing a Buck, who again is a great operator for Chalet. We also see him bringing Blitz the odd time as well. Blitz could also be used in a quick kitchen trophy push, where you just hop in through the trophy, you put your shield to the left, that guns down any shots coming from the enemy team, and once you're inside the site as a Blitz, you are very tough to get rid of, as once you have control of them doors, it's a close range gunfight. You have the flash, you have that range of that stab, of course, which is another push which we have seen an uprise off. It's just a quick push in with Candela's Yings. Someone goes down below as a Buck and gets rid of the anchors inside the trophy. Once again, Vexed will be going for this room game. XKS is going to turn on his visual device, which does nullify the effect of drones seeing him, but they will know the area that he is about, of course, as the white flashes do appear on the side of your screen. But 2 minutes to go, still nothing as of yet on either side.
Now, still pretty quiet so far, although it doesn't always need to be fully explosive action between these teams. A lot of rivalry, but also a lot of planning strategy starting to come out, especially from 1UP today. However, it is their map. It's where they will look the most comfortable and probably look in their best light. Once they get into Cafe, that could very, very quickly all turn upside down. Let's not forget as well, if 1UP 2-0 Vexed here, they take first spot in this group.
Do they?
I believe they do. I think there was 28. It was 24 to 21. I
believe Vexed are on 27 points. Because they've won 9 and lost 1, so that should put them on 27 points. Vexed can't be caught for first place.
All right, I'm incorrect. We'll go with that. I'll concede.
So it seems to be that the dining push is where 1UP want to push in for. The roamers this time haven't been taken care of. XKS is still on the roam. Proxy has taken a little seat back from his roaming. He hasn't got any kills as of yet on the roam game. Instead, he is going to try and play this anchor. And again, Ayla can be used in them close range environments. Of course, that gun does shred anybody at mostly any range. Kembe open up the kill line on the Proxy, who still does not have a kill to his name as of yet inside this game. As Mop swings around as well, gets the kill on the Nyx. Def then gets the kill on the Mop. XKS is going to be downstairs on this west main, and he can rotate and give a bit of support from that west main angle. Kembe, with 30 seconds to go, is going to come upstairs and open up some angles and see if he can catch anybody out.
Recovered their diffuser.
I believe that's the hatch going off as well. XKS has rotated back in the site. Def inside the kitchen. Then also another person inside trophy. Dining has been taken. XKS gets a kill on the Kembe, gets a double kill on the Willow, gets it. That's going to be Def. Thought it's going to be XKS getting a triple, but Def gets another one. But XKS does get his triple, and Vexed square it off. 3 rounds apiece.
Literally XKS this game. That is summary of this game.
He's about to hit Madman numbers.
He's going nuts. I think he's on 12 kills now, maybe more.
Yep.
12 kills. 12-0-3. They're the kind of numbers you need to put up there to literally solo carry your team through. For the rest of them, Diff's on 3 kills. That's nuts to think for a Vex lineup that all the members will be on less than 3 kills except for 1 player.
Kill XKS, you win the game, it seems to be for 1UP, as the rest of the Vex lineup just aren't performing. Proxy still yet to get a kill. This time he tried to not go for the room. It wasn't working for him. He sat site and he still managed to die. He's just not having a best of game for himself. Maybe Chalet's not his map, but we say that. He had a brilliant performance on Chalet last week. Again, even one of his plays got it into the top plays of the week. We're going to go into a kitchen trophy, and 1UP are going to go for this upstairs hold once again. No gaming room and bar, which is a strategy which we're seeing an Uprise on. It is a completely viable site, just as good as the other ones. We've seen teams like Enix and Xenos attempt them, of course. So I'm surprised why we're not seeing any of them as well, as it just throws Vexed off the trail of going kitchen trophy, wine cellar, kitchen trophy, wine cellar.
I think, though, in the case of 1UP, you know when you're at this point where the next round is going to be match point, you can't afford to make many mistakes. This is a safe round for them. Given how dominant they were in their first round defense when Vex came for the attack and got slaughtered 5-0, I'm not surprised they want to guarantee themselves a point and take this away. Let's not forget as well, it's not just a map they'll be losing here. It's a bit of pride as well. It's their home map. It's where they feel the most comfortable against teams like Vexed. So they've got to make this strat work. If it falls apart here, I can only think about what that will do to their morale.
XKS is going to be that point man. 12 kills. Can he keep it, the momentum rolling for his team and single-handedly beat 1UP? Is going to look to see if anybody's going to be inside the site. But for this strat, there's only going to be one person inside the trophy room, as the other 4 MUP
got it!
Is going to get the 2-piece spawn kill. Big plays from him. He is great at controlling that office area.
Well, what did we say? You kill XKS, you win the round. It's definitely starting to go that way in a 4 versus 2 situation. And it's their point once again. Admittedly, that time a little bit more of a surprise and a very ballsy play from MUP as well. To see 2 grenades come through the window and instantly think, right, charge balcony and try and kill someone. Like, if that second member who he gunned down had been watching the balcony in anticipation for someone to be forced to run out that way, they could have turned that around, but it just wasn't. Oh, MUP again!
Oh, Neil the coffin.
Someone stop this man.
Salt to the wounds. MUP, this is exactly what I was expecting from 1UP, the star player. Of course, hands down, he is the star player. A lot of people argue, oh no, Kimbe's the best. The way MUP plays the game is second to none in his team. He argues with me saying, no, I'm not the best in the team. Nigma's the best. 1UP rate Nigma the best player in their team. I would disagree. MUP makes so much more influential plays. Granted, if it wasn't for Nigma picking the Valkyrie and setting that Valkyrie camp up, then MUP would not get any of these kills. But still, nonetheless, executing them kills is still a hard task to do.
It's quite hard sometimes because, of course, with the support/utility players, for a lot of them, actually, EJ trying to go for the big push. Knows there is someone sitting on the other side of this wall. He's going to go for the peak, but never going to win that one, especially against Kimbe. And 1UP take their comfort round. That was the comfort round they needed to win.
Yep, an excellent hold once again. Just seems to be a repeat of what we've seen previously in the time that Vex tried to push it. Last time they just funneled in through the library. They tried to go for a different approach, but nonetheless they still got gunned down and shut out. Vexed, they have another chance of this defense. They seem to be going for the wine cellar hold, which we haven't seen them do as of yet. They're going to be bringing Vigil once again as well as the Jaeger. I'd imagine next we'll be bringing Bandit, because Bandit is going to be versatile in Bandit Trick in either the Stone Pale or also for Bandit Trick in that Trench. Wine Stock and also the Mirror Windows are always going to be helpful for any Habana charges being sent down by Keza.
Oh, really?
You're going to meme at this point?
Okay, Diff. Suit yourself, buddy. Bringing the Lord to the field. May he grace them with many victories, or so is the hope. Now, for 1UP at the very least, they've at least got tools here that work, I feel. They've got hold of that buck against. They can open up a lot of the upstairs and get themselves some angles downstairs. However, Vex, like you say, we haven't seen them play downstairs just yet. They may have some surprises in store at the very least for 1UP.
Why would Def switch to the Chank instead of Mira? Why? Was it a misclick? I doubt it, because he did lock in Mira. They're going to be in a really sticky situation because now Ying gets 10 times better.
Admittedly as well, like, it was a last-second selection, so it could have been a misclick, although I doubt it. Like, these guys played the same on Cafe a couple of weeks ago, for example.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
So who knows? The mystery of Vexed will never quite be uncovered, it seems. But 1UP will try their very best, at least to close this map out at 5-3. That would be a great situation for them. For Vex to drop another map, we'll definitely start seeing that crown slipping.
Yeah, we'll start to see cracks show in the Vex lineup, especially if 1UP beat them in Cafe. That is going to be a bit of a worrisome for Vex if they lose 2-0 to 1UP, where you look back 6 weeks ago, which just seems ages ago. you know, we've seen Vex have such a dominant performance over 1UP, but this time it seems to be the tables have flipped, which is what I was expecting. 1UP have came leaps and bounds since the last time they played Vex. Their strategies have gotten 10 times better. Their team skill, their gun skill just seem everything's just flowing for them. But Vex, with their strong roam game, is still causing problems with 1UP. As 2 minutes ago, still the roamers are doing their part. As Mop is going to also enter with a Ying. He's not going to be playing Buck. Typically, we'd see him bring the Buck to the table as he's so proficient on it. This time, he is going to bring that flex pick as a Ying. Ying can be used in any hatch drops, which you talked about. You think Ying is viable for any hatch drop, may it be Clubhouse, may it be Oregon. I would agree for this for the Snowmobile and Winestock, as you can send them down either the dining hatch or also just completely Ying out the bar. Because if you Ying out the bar and you clear out that Snowmobile garage, it does allow for a very easy push, which we seem to be 1UP going for is a Snowmobile. This is something that we don't see a whole lot. I would say 80% of the time it's going to be a wine cellar push. This time it's going to be the complete different. They need to get the bar hatch off because this allows different players like the Bandit just to sit and hold an angle beside Green Ben. Exactly what I just talked about is going to happen. But Kizza is going to get the refrag. Still only one game, a minute to go. Let's see where this leads.
Always keep an eye on XKS as well, because he is the one that we've been speaking about for this whole map, putting his team on his back. If he goes down, things change very quickly. Okay.
Kizza still needs to get the bar hatch off. Because that's a minute to go and the bar hatch is still intact. Well, he still has one X Kairos pellets.
He just messed up the knockdown.
Why is he not doing it?
He messed up the reset onto Mop as well. So now that he can't pull that off, you've got to deal with basically well, two members are incredibly low now, I think about it, actually. Looking at their health bars, this may as well be a 2v2 unless they can get some one-taps.
Seems to be that he's going to go for this drop down. But he's going to get shot down straight away by XKS once again. Nyx just chilling inside the connector. Yings are going to go off. He doesn't care. He's just going to hold his ground. There's 20 seconds to go. Habana, Thatcher, and the Buck left. Thatcher literally dead at this stage. Kizza is going to rotate to this double. But again, not having that bar is going to let the Bandit sit beside Green Benz, who he knows is going to be there. Gets the down.
10 seconds left.
Look right.
He's not going to see the guy inside the connector unless he can get covered. He's not, as XKS and Nyx clean up the kills, and Vex are going to take it to overtime.
Well, I would coin it to go this way in general if it was ever going to come to a point where you were playing between Vexed and 1UP and it was going to go to overtime. I would definitely always say it would be on 1UP's preferential map. Less so on Vexed. I think they probably will run away with their map because it's their most comfortable one. But here on Chalet, 1UP's map, great start to it on their first 2 points, and again, would not be surprised to see them go towards the trophy room hole because it's worked so well for them so far. Why change away from it? Biggest worry for them right now is XKS because he is popping off.
I'm still surprised why Kizza did not get the bar hatch off. If you want to go for a snowmobile, you need to make sure that hatch is gone because it disables anybody sitting beside that main stairs area and also the green bins. Where Bandit was able to get a kill onto Nigma, it also allows for a coverage into anybody coming out of the connector room and also anybody coming out of the big hole beside the wine cellar area. Big misplay, which I'm surprised that 1UP would not go for that banner charge. He still had one, which is why I'm surprised, but it's not as if he used it on a wall. It's the fact that he still had one and he was right below the bar. I'm confused. It's baffled me.
Truly baffled. You've baffled the boy. The demo. The Dempster. He is baffled.
10 seconds to insertion.
How baffled are you out of 10?
About a 10.
5 seconds
About
left
10.
before insertion.
Not even a 9.5?
Like, it's such a simple thing they even took from gaming. And they were able to get inside bar.
Locate and defuse a bomb.
Boys, you've truly rattled this guy. Let's see if you can rattle each other, though. Overtime, 3 rounds to play. Vex starting off in Kitchen and Trophy. We'll be seeing if they can prevent the onslaught from 1UP. So far, looking pretty good on their aggressive rounds and the defensive ones when they get their preferential point. But Vex and SKS specifically have definitely started to shine and step up. And again, if they can keep him alive, I think, and he gets these angles to start railing down some kills, that's when they can really start to win those trades out. The best rounds they've always had is where XKS isn't pressured. He's given freedom to move, freedom to take whatever angle he wants to, and look down these different corridors, because that's where he always needs to get the picks. All it takes is one bullet headed his way, though, and Vex lose the round. Last round they did pretty well, even with XKS having a bit of difficulty.
Seems to be that 1UP have already taken this top floor. Proxys had to fall down, and XKS is going to be as that lurking roamer beside this trench doors. We did see him previously play it. It does allow him to go for rotates either through up the main stairs or either blue, or simply just back in the site via west main. Proxa almost getting caught out from that angle. Mop does hold from the main stairs. And a good clear out from 1UP. I'm surprised that Vex let them take it so easily. It was just a quick walk in for 1UP. They sent a drone and they just scurried away straight away. So now they can get Kimbe in with the sledge, can start sledging open that kitchen and that dining area, get rid of any anchors, particularly Def. If they get rid of Def, who has been a big pain for 1UP for this trophy, for this dining and kitchen push, then it should go in their way.
What was really weird with Proxy a second ago when he's facing off against Mop was Proxy had that angle originally. He was the one watching stairs. And then we saw Mop come for a stroll down. Proxy knew he was there. Kind of idle, didn't try and go for any shots himself, just sat there and kind of idly watched and got himself picked off. And speaking of getting picked off, Kizza is going to find his first kill onto Diff with that shotgun as well, to say the very least. Here comes a full rotation back upstairs there. Proxy now joining his brethren to defend this kitchen and trophy point. Lots of spray coming down from upstairs, so Kimbe got the angle, but not got the kills.
Does have control off the top floor, can start sledging that corridor, and at the moment, three members of Vexed are going to be stockpiled up inside that trophy area. Not looking good for them as a quick dining push could come in very quickly. XKS has rotated up site like what we were talking about happened. Is Mop going to be aware that somebody maybe there does gun down EJ, but XKS is going to be the thorn in 1UP side and is going to go for this quick rotation up through the bedroom. Is any members of 1UP going to be ready? Is Nigma going to be ready? Is Kimbe going to be ready? It seems to be. As Nigma is just going to run in. Kimbe is going to drop, but does allow upstairs access to XKS, who does see him and shut him down once again. This man cannot be stopped.
Attackers are activating the
and they've even just got the diffuser down with just a couple of seconds to go. Oh, drops are coming through, but they're rolling straight into SKS's lineup here as well. Look how low he is, but this guy cannot be stopped. He is getting all the kills. He's getting the diffuse, and 1UP are unable
to
stop XKS.
That was an ace.
Defenders win.
This guy is a machine. What has happened to him in the last couple of weeks? You've had a couple of weeks off, and suddenly, bam, here he is. This is beyond anything I feel we've seen so far in the Prem. This guy stepping up beyond belief.
Is that the first ace we've seen?
Possibly.
He's nearly broke 20 kills.
On one map.
Nearly broke 20 kills.
On one map.
We never see that, ever. Not even Madman has that record.
Imagine if he does this and then the next map goes and does the same and hits 40 kills across both maps. I think the highest at the minute is like mid-20s. For kills, that's about it. Like 27, 28.
Who's that from? It's the highest kill we've had in the Premiership this season so far.
No, we've definitely had more than 20 before.
No. Madman highest 17.
I'm pretty sure we've had above 20 before.
We've never had 20 in the Premiership.
I will go and raid Dawes' Twitter at some point, but I'm 90% sure we've seen above 20 at least once.
Not in one map. Not
on one map. No.
No, that's what I'm saying. But
no. But
yeah, obviously. But in one map, we've never had this. I think Madman was 17 is the highest, which we've seen.
We definitely haven't seen 19 on a map before. Not even on his map is the most interesting part.
He is playing a blinder of a match. And whenever you need somebody to step up, this is it. He is essentially being the 6th man as well. It's a 6v5 in this case.
He's doing make him the 7th and 8th man as well, because that's what it feels like with the number of kills under his belt. But honestly, I can't believe second place got 5 kills. It's on 94 times as many kills as the guy in second place.
But the thing that's interesting from 1UP is that they know that XKS has played Vigil every round. What's the biggest counter to Vigil? An IQ. Why don't they try to pick that up and go and hunt him? If they're having such a problem, it's exactly the same way you would have an issue with a smoke. How would you get rid of a smoke inside trophy? You go below and buck him. If you're having an issue with a Vigil, you take an IQ and you hunt him down. You have the combination that 1UP have with their droners. He's going to have to stick on his device, or else he's going to get spotted by the IQ device. If he doesn't stick on his device, get not spotted by the IQ, then he's just going to get droned out. XKS again getting a down onto Nigma, who is going to be opened up from that bathroom window. Is going to get down but not out. Is going to try and pick up this bathroom window, but should get guns down straight away by Willow. It is. That is what Willow needed. Maybe
that is a terrifying mass.
That was maybe a bit of a misplay from XKS. That is a bit of a rookie mistake. They should have known that somebody would be covering, especially 1UP, who have that teamwork.
You've literally just said exactly what I was going to say there. Is the case of, yes, you down someone, but you know what 1UP are like. You know they play in pairs or threes pretty much all the time.
4 people upstairs.
Like, why? Like, you could have very easily just hung on again there and watched that window for another 10-15 seconds before making a move. That would have been fine. But instead finds himself gunned down on the ladder and puts Vexed at a heavy disadvantage.
It appears to be that Vexed are just not going to attempt to take this top floor, instead creep their way into dining, but that is just going to play it into the hands of 1UP. The reason why you may say, oh, how are they going to stop the plant? There's no rotation in towards dining from, you know, there's no holes in the ceiling. We've seen Mop do it before. Mop can run out of the balcony, jump off that double window and into the Great Hall and sneak up behind them. That is a rotation that I'm expecting Mop to do. Let's see if he's going to do it, because that's going to be the main way to stop this push.
Got these Valk cameras out as well. They know exactly where someone is lurking. They have spotted him out now. Goes up for the peek. Risky from Mop. Still going for the kills once more. He's got so many angles that he could just pop out on here and go for the kill. Kimbe incredibly low, though. That health bar, I can barely even see it.
45 seconds on the clock. Vexed still are going to be inside the dining. But they haven't moved since then. They've been inside this same angle for at least a minute. And they've done nothing with it. So we'll have to see if the push comes in. It's going to have to come in now, because 30 seconds ago, Keza is going to start throwing out smoke grenades, which is what revolves around 1UP strat. And at this stage, I would imagine that 1UP will take the round here. 25 seconds ago, Keza could just smoke out this main double door, which then funnels him down this little death corner. Proxy gets the kill on the Negma, but then Kimbe does get the trade out. As then Wello gets the kill on the next, Keza gets the kill on the Proxy.
And they've got all these smoke grenades still to be throwing out as well. Oh, I say that, and Kissa gets dropped immediately by EJ. That's the smokes out of place. Nixiano even finds Mop. This is one man left upstairs. All he's got to do is hold and find where this diffuser is going down. It is going to drop Nixiano. It's Willow finds the man himself.
You are out of time.
And one of the quietest members for 1UP the whole map long steps up when his team needs it and forces this through to the wire, down to the very last round of overtime.
Big plays from Willow. That was a really strong round from him, who I would say in the past couple of weeks he's been slacking quite a bit, as the player is expecting to be. That is what I'm expecting from Willow, to come in with them clutch plays. Again, they took out XKS, they won the round. The strategy must work that we've been talking about. You kill XKS, you win the round. Well done to 1UP for, again, another top floor hold. You said we would only see that strat twice. Vexed aren't even attempting to push it. That's why then 1UP know they can just go for it, and they can't be stopped from it.
As we see, they most definitely... I mean, Vexed, to be fair, they got pretty close. They were in a 2 versus 1. They had the bomb down, or was going down. Everything looked to be going their way, but then 1UP striking from the heavens just denied Vexed that opportunity to take away 1UP's map here on Chalet. However, we do still have one final round to play out. It's going to be downstairs. Now, last time that 1UP assaulted this point, they didn't have great success, to be honest with you. In fact, they got cleaned out pretty quick. I don't believe they tried to get into Stemobile Garage and got themselves gunned down pretty quickly because they just didn't respect the corners that were being held by Nixiano. Hopefully this time around they learn from previous mistakes and make their push a little more sensible. But we've seen multiple times now, once XKS is out of the picture, things look a lot more rosy for 1UP. Can they find him early on this time? Because once more, he's back on that vigil.
No IQ still. We talked about how it would be a simple solution to get rid of XKS on this vigil. It is going to be another wine cellar take. We're not going to see the Chinka being picked up. Instead, the Mira, which we were expecting the first time, is going to be able to control that whole entire wine stock area. And also that snowmobile, Proxit, is going to be a lone roamer at this stage, located inside the main stairs, not been performing as we would expect him to do. Can this be the round for him to clutch it up for his team, possibly get 2 kills and send his team into a gigantic advantage? We will have to find out. Will 1UP go for the push, or 1UP just stay, hold their ground, have one person covering that flank, and then the rest of them start pushing down towards the trench, start pushing down towards that wine cellar hallway? But they have to go through XKS, and they are going to go through XKS as he's going to be opening kill for Willow on the XKS. That is going to be the 20 kill dream done for XKS. He's not going to get the 20 kill dream, he's just going to get 19.
It's still the record, but it's not quite into the 20s, unfortunately there, my friend. 2 rounds of being very quiet for him. And this is what 1UP want. This is what 1UP want. Catch him out nice and early and turn it around from there. However, EJ is going to win that fight. But then guess what? 2 explosives go off and 2 members of Vexed are dropped immediately. Now, Vexed are in a situation, they've got 1 left. Mop is going to bring down Proxy. Can EJ turn this one around? He's had some good rounds so far. Not quite XKS level of good. But 1UP are in a situation where they have 4 members still left alive. They can taste victory, and they will secure it as Nigma takes down the last kill to deny Vexed their dream of never dropping another map in the Premiership. 1UP take 1UP on Vexed.
A reimbursed 1UP, a team that we thought, that especially you thought, wouldn't win against Vexed. I knew 1UP had something up their sleeve. Again, Vexed, they let... Oh no. They've let Chalet go through one of their strongest maps, of course, and we will now be moving in towards Cafe very shortly. It was a great game, 6-5 XKS, man of the match.
The camera wasn't on me when I made that they 1UP Vexting, so they couldn't do the whole, kind of deal with it sort of pose, but never mind, I'll do. What a map though, to go the full distance. That was the kind of show that we want to see from these two teams. We speak about a rivalry, and no one likes a one-sided rivalry. It's got to go evenly both ways, and that game went both ways. XKS stepping up. That ace was incredible. Every single round for him, he was on fire, apart from the ones where 1UP dropped him super early. That
was the thing. Imagine if XKS didn't die in them first 2 rounds in that overtime.
Imagine what that would have done.
Either way.
It felt like that first round of overtime, though, where he died in the ladder. That was a huge mistake.
It was a big hiccup.
Imagine if he hadn't gone for that push and he just hung back, or they'd gone from downstairs and tried to go for the push. They knew they were playing into 1UP's strengths there, right? They knew that was their strategy, it was their point to hold, and that's what they play incredibly well on. So why take risks? Maybe he thought doing something so obvious would catch 1UP off guard, and I understand that. But it's so risky without anyone to cover your back.
And then also looking at that final round, where he was caught out straight away, rushing out a trench. That's not the playstyle we've seen him do this whole entire game. Typically, we've seen him sit in a corner, sit back, wait, and then go for a flank.
This was a beautiful play as well. This is a first example of worry for me almost with Vex, because they were all trying to push into the point from the same place. Knowing that there was a Valkyrie left, they know there's a Valkyrie come around, and they knew that C4 was an option, and getting a double kill, that could have been very easily a triple if he had been any slower on the move around there. But for XKS, fortunately, that was the start of him popping off.
1UP, this was their more bread and butter was that kitchen hold, or the trophy and kitchen hold that they went for with that top floor control. It worked 3 out of 3 times for them, of course, which was Vex just didn't want any of that. XKS just, what can you say about him? But bravo, what performance he did put on. But equally, Mop had some big, impressive kills for me. For his team was a real big momentum shifter as well. This was one of the sloppier rounds from 1UP, where he didn't get rid of the barrage, just tried to push in without clearing out this A-bomb site.
This is bizarre.
Yeah, that was the one that I don't know what they were thinking with that push.
And this is a great flank as well from SKS. As soon as he made a play upstairs, rotated immediately and just basically cleaned up the whole of this round for them. And to be fair, SKS is looking great, but where are the rest of the members of Vex? That is my big worry, is they need to step up. Exactly, they've got to step up, simple as that.
That was the ace for XKS. That did take us to overtime. Again, Willow with this clutch. That was well done from Willow from that big round, because the diffuser was planted. It was a 2v1, and somehow he managed to get away with it.
And Willow is one of those, he's kind of the, you call them anchors, but he's the anchor of this team in that he holds the team together. I actually remember he's one of the first guys I spoke to, and he was just like, you know, I am the force of this team. I keep balance, I maintain balance in this team. And week on week, he seems to be the guy who just represents them as the IG. I know he's one of the team captains.
He's the captain, yeah, he's the captain. Yeah.
Put it together alongside Kizza a long time ago now.
Very long time, almost a year. These two guys, Willow and Kizza, have been teammates since year 1, season 2.
Exactly.
Well, a very long time these guys have been friends. They've been to 2 LANs together as well.
And they've got a great team build around them. I'm not saying this is 100% their year, but if they keep on playing like that, then they can contest against anyone it feels who may be going to LAN. But anyway, speaking of LAN, we need to find out which 4th team will be joining us. So Xenos versus Radix will be our next game coming up. But before we jump to a quick break, it's worth mentioning that you can win some free swag. Super. Oh, second map, sorry, what am I on about? We have some cool swag there to give to you at the very least. How did I forget about a second map? This is a really good series. We have a bit of swag to give away there. We have an AOC monitor on offer. It's a 24-inch monitor, so you definitely can't shy away from that. Wouldn't mind picking one of those up for myself. You can head to esl.pm/r6scomp to enter yourself into that giveaway. Nothing to do, no. It's not like a kind of daytime TV show where we ask you to answer A, B, or C, or text in your answer of your name and your postcode. You go to the website, you press a button, you get entered to win a monitor. It is as simple as that. Now, let's have a quick talk about this cafe. Vex map. XKS on fire. Can they take it away from 1UP?
If the rest
you thought 1UP were going to win it?
If the rest of the team perform, then yes, but XKS just can't carry them. Especially a map like Cafe, where we don't really see 3Ks or 4Ks. It's mostly quick back action. Somebody might get a 2K, but then trade out straight away, as it is a very close quarter map with a lot of angles that you have to worry about. So I don't expect him to do as good.
Okay. So you think if they don't do as good, then the score line stays the same? We've seen another 6-5 for 1UP, or because of the map preferential for Vexed, they take it away?
Possibly because Chalet doesn't have a lot of rotations available. There's only 2 sets of staircases rather than the 3 in Chalet. So having then the red covered from 1UP, then it does limit XKS on what he can do.
Well, let's see if XKS can pull it off. I'm pretty sure to him it doesn't matter who he's shooting at or where he is shooting. As long as someone dies, he will be happy. And so will the rest of Vexed, but they've got work to do. They are down a map in this series. Not what I expected to be saying when I came and sat down here at the very start of the day and looked at what games we had coming up. That is the situation we find ourselves in. It's really bizarre, 6 weeks on from the first week of the Premiership as well, because let's not forget, we saw these teams play in the first week, and Vexed pretty much rolled over 1UP, but like you said, 1UP have come on leaps and bounds. All the players have had weeks where they've stepped up and delivered. In the last map, every single team member stepped up and played pretty well.
Yeah, seems to be that they have stepped up. They have started working as a unit rather than single. Seen you just noticed that little right-hand side corner, did you?
I'm always like, what's that little plug? Am I meant to say that? I'm not going to say it, obviously, but... Did I slide in?
But anyway, top floor, we're seeing the bar and the cocktail lounge. This is the most picked bomb site out of the 2. Again, kitchen isn't just, it's just not a viable bomb site as it's too open to the outside, too many windows, smoke, Montagna. Plants are very hard to deal with, of course.
10 seconds.
But primarily the top floor is going to be the most picked. Looking at the operator picks for 1UP, we're seeing the smoke, so they have that control in the later stages. They have the balcony for the intel gathering. Also, we're going to be seeing Legion being picked up, a niche pick operator that we did see being picked up in the Oregon, Horizon and Fable game. These Legion traps will come in very big for this particular cigar lounge hold. Having them Legion mines at the double door, at the single door, this is going to be big.
He misses it! Mop, you could not afford to miss peaks like that, but it's still shaving a few hairs off of the head of the Thatcher at the very least. Still, I do remember a couple of weeks ago, 1UP played on this map, and they had the cleanest cover for each other. I remember the specific play around the bar. Every single time one member rotated around to try and kill a 1UP member, there was someone else watching their back, and it happened 3 or 4 times in a row, and I was just like, the coordination and communication that 1UP was showing was just exemplary, and if they can do it again today, I think they can definitely put Vexed to the test.
The one thing that I worry about Vexed is we talk about how their strats aren't up to snuff compared to 1UP, of course. The worry for me about Vexed is this red stairs. We've seen a bit of an example from them, was whenever they were pushing that wine cellar, we're seeing a couple of occasions, Willow gets one, but then Proxy does get the trade out.
Down.
Yeah, that's going to be the main man, but Proxy's got himself a kill. What I was saying was that actually I've lost my train of thought now because that kill.
Mate, it happens a lot as you get older.
I'll come back to it.
Welcome to puberty, it's where you start losing
I'll come back to it.
Block. So you got a mental block there? Me too, mate, don't worry. Both of us have it. Well, let's reset and talk more about what's going on. XKS is down, that's the big one. Proxy loves this map. This should be the map where he should shine. If he shines up alongside X, you look really excited then. If you remember what you were going to say.
I remember what it sounds.
Go on then.
So the thing about the red stairs that I worry about Vex is because we've seen a glimpse of it from that wine cellar where they all just push in the one door, which you were getting worried about. That is the one thing that I think they're going to do for this red stairs. Red stairs is the main beachhead for a lot of teams. If all 4 people are going to group up around that area, it's so easy to defend, especially someone from that dark spot corner inside Cigar Lounge, and also for these Legion traps and a C4 and a smoke grenade. Oh, it just all comes together. Willow.
That is such an amateur mistake.
Yeah, it is. It really is. That is something that you should be expecting. Is of course just somebody on the skylight at all times. Watch it. Maybe a Blackbeard, maybe a Twitch.
Whatever it is, it has a gun and it does not want you to be anywhere within its sight line. Very silly, dangerous idea. But you can see on the left-hand side of the screen, all the members of Vex starting to crowd around. They know what's going on here. Kizza whacking out that shotgun. It's time for some heroic plays, my friend. 15 seconds to go. Has no more gas grenades left.
It's going to be close range encounters. We are going to see EJ drop the hatch. Proxy gets one. EJ gets another. Kizza's going to be the last man up. Does get one. And EJ is actually going to TK Proxy. He's going to be happy about that. But nonetheless, Vex do take the first round. And I would say that Willow If he didn't die, then they could have had a better chance, because that's going to be another gun against 4. Could have went either way if Willow didn't do that rookie mistake.
I mean, it still ended up in the 4v4 scenario, and they traded out XKS for it, which wasn't bad. It's after you ran away and, like you say, turned it into that 4 versus 3, where 1UP are immediately at a disadvantage based on the numbers alone. Still, XKS got dealt with very quick. 1UP still carrying on with that last plan, but EJ, he's stepping up, got himself 3 kills. I don't think Proxy were too mad about that team kill, having seen the replay. It was a direct line of sight. Proxy ran in front. It's going to happen. Either way, they win the round. Vexed after a good start on their chosen map.
So 1UP are going to be going with an unusual set of strategies for Cafe. Typically we see Habana, we see Infirmite, we're seeing Ash. This time we're seeing a Ying and a Blitz being picked up on behalf of 1UP. So this is going to go one or two ways for me. There's 2 potential strats that they could go for. One is that they just do a standard hold, they just do a standard push where they take red stairs, take Cigar, they have the Blitz then to play that aggressive and that almost human drone-like figure. Or the other option is that they could go for an A window and white stairs push, where they stick their Blitz pushing up white stairs. Again, it's going to be the same way you'd push in from red, more of a bully Blitz has that intel. And then also use your Candela devices through the A window and clear out that A bomb site. Have somebody on the hatch to whenever they get pushed out by them Candelas, they're either going to die to the guy swinging in, who's going to be flash primarily Ying, or they're going to back away and run into the sightline off the Twitch on the roof. That's what I'm expecting to see. Will we see it?
Well, who knows? We've seen Mop running around in this Blitz numerous times throughout the Premiership. Seems to be his kind of go-to pocket pick, as you might say. He fancies going a bit of a one-man army. That's always what he tends to opt towards. I'm always very curious to see if Proxy goes for that little play that we saw a couple of weeks ago, actually, where he tries to throw the C4 at the top of stairs and catch someone out upstairs. Because that was when we saw the nice flick shot. I think it was from Holy Ben or Floyd, actually, to Fable. Just with great reactions. However, reactions are not on Proxy's side, as Kizza will have his number from upstairs.
I'm surprised that Valkyrie camera wasn't thrown out towards that south windows, because it does give you great intel for anybody wanting to push towards that area. Seems to be that they're going to go for that red stairs push, which was one of the options which I was talking about, where they can bring Blitz in as that bully operator, clear out this Cigar Lounge. Does have to go for a couple of castle barricades and the mirror windows, of course, as EJ is going to be on 1, but actually we'll see Twitch. That's going to be a good pickup for them, getting rid of the mirror windows. That would imagine is going to be a counter pick for the mirror windows, knowing that mirror is a big operator pick for Cafe, as having these 2 mirror windows in this location does shut down any push coming in towards that Cigar Lounge area, which is the crucial staging ground for the attacking team, of course. But still, 1 minute 20, nothing happened since that first kill very early on, but I'm sure that the push will be coming in very quickly.
Well, they're all grouped up on the same side. It's almost like an absolute mirror of what we saw in the last round, where both teams have kind of switched positions. The heavy stack coming up at the top of these stairs, like you mentioned, in Cigar from 1UP, again with at least one person sat on this top side. The only difference this time round is there are a couple of castle barricades holding out the way, and no huge tools really for 1UP to be able to get through this. They've got to be very wary of that timer as it ticks down, because they might have a bit of a job on their hands trying to get through. Either that, or they go for one of the reinforced walls. They do indeed have hold of that thermite to go for it.
This is where the smoke grenades and Dells are going to go in. Seems to be that Yank did get downed, as Def gets 1. EJ also gets another. Kimbe then gets a trade out at TS with another. Willow with another one. 2v2. Bomb does go down. Nyx gets a kill onto Willow. All down to Kimbe. Is one of the main fraggers for 1UP. He is going to run into the sightlines of a mirror window, and he is going to get downed. And EJ is going to finish off the round as Nyx gets to the fuse. Good stuff from Vexed. The thing that I believe lost them that round was not getting rid of that mirror window. The simple solution? No Habana. That's why I believe Habana is a must pick for nearly every single map, because her kit's amazing, her guns are amazing, her gadget is so great, particularly for countering Mira. You don't have to worry about a bandit trick, because if he is going to go for a bandit trick, that's where Blitz can start pushing in and then put that menace. If you're going to go for a bandit trick, then you're not going to be shooting. So if they had the Habana, they could have got rid of the guy inside that toilet area, and from there, you more than likely would have complete control of the Cigar Lounge and then stage your push from there.
Well, both of these teams have erred towards going for the thermite instead of going for the Habana. Why do you think they've opted towards that? Like I say, because the diversity that comes through from the Habana pick is very good for the mirror windows, it's very good for pretty much everything. Why take thermite?
I believe it's just for that cigar lounge double wall beside the red stairs. Typically, we would see a Thermite drop down in towards that red stairs area, and then they just blow it open. It's better than having a Habana, especially whenever you see people play in and around that piano area behind that little balcony area, and then also in towards the corner spot. So a Habana hole, of course, is going to be smaller, more predictable for teams. Having a bigger hole then lets you peek from the right-hand side or the left-hand side, or simply just through the middle. It's just personal preference, but typically teams like the Thermite so they can blow off that double wall.
I get that. Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Shotgun hero, shotgun villain, take your pick in this case. Definitely a shotgun villain. Bringing down one of your top fraggers is a big no-no, Kizza. And I'll be sure to hold
Those
that
are the
over
plays
you
that
for long
lose you
time
rounds.
to
Those
come.
are the plays that do lose you rounds. Simple mistakes. It shouldn't be happening at this level of play. I know we did see a TK at the Invitational. I know we did because I remember seeing it, but I can't remember who it was.
The thing is, realistically, it's always going to happen because in that case, it was a simple task of opening up a hatch. And you're not going to say to your team, stand back, I'm shotgunning open this hatch. You're going to have a lot of time to set up, so you're in quite a rush. And small things like that, again, maybe it's more being the case that they aren't fully prepared for this match. Like they don't have a plan that says, right, your job when the round starts is to do X, your job is to do Y, your job is to go and do Z. That's what hurt them there, I think, and nothing else.
The thing about 1UP is whenever they start losing by quite a deficit, maybe 2 rounds to 0, like we are now, they start becoming a little more defensive. They don't come out of their shell, and whenever they start being defensive, they then allow teams to start walking over them and let the Vexed control the matchup. Having Vexed just conquer 1UP and having them control the map just makes it so much easier for Vexed to say, okay, we know where you are, you're not going to push us because you're scared of our gun skill, we're going to walk in and kill you from that stage. If 1UP then have the momentum, if they have the chemistry, if they talk to each other, if they're supporting each other, then that's whenever 1UP start taking these aggressive fights because we know they have the gun skill to back it up.
Absolutely, and here we go, 5v3. SKS getting technically the first opposition kill of the round, shall we say. But here comes the breach, going to start getting themselves in towards his top side. Enigma will trade at least one back. However, will it be enough? Mob actually gets one as well, so it's not looking too bad for 1UP. Imagine if this was still a 3 versus 3 though.
If it was a 3 versus 3, it would be looking good. They have the Twitch is gone, who EJ has been performing very well on this particular map. Nigma and Kizza can still clutch it up. 50 seconds to go. Nigma's in a very good position. Underneath the bomb, they have nobody on the skylight this time, where previously we did see, and this is what I'm talking about. The angle that Vex aren't expecting, right out in the open, where they would expect, okay, they're not going to sit right in the middle of the bomb site because then they'd be fearing somebody playing on the skylight. They're taking the risk, and it's paid off for them. It has been into a 2v2. Vex are starting to slow down, but still XKS on the Ash is going to be the person to clutch up the round for Vex, if anybody's going to do it.
Well, Kizza has definitely got some sins to make up for, should we say. Some negative karma in the bank that he needs to redeem himself for. Whether that's getting a few kills onto the inside, going for the bomb glitch. He's going to get spotted out there. SKS will always be the man to win that one out, but it's a 1v1. Can they turn this around? He spots him out. Nigma has just got to hide. Don't die and you win the round. What do you do? Push it forward. If you lose this shot, he manages to survive, and by a miracle, 1UP win it. How on earth have Vex managed to give that one away in a 5 versus 4 situation? Jesus!
The intel gathering from them Valkyrie cams bound to have been the reason, because having that intel, that of course the dead members of 1UP can provide that information for Enigma, saying he's coming for your cigar lounge door, he's coming for it, peek now, peek now.
It's all part of the plan. That was entirely it. The whole strategy they had for that map was to kill Kimbe so he could give them intel. These are not next level strats, guys. Like, everyone's looking at me shaking their heads in here, but I'm like, well guys, come on, they've got it. If it wins rounds, then how can you question it?
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
So, our first mining room and
Vex have got to kill someone now.
fireplace.
They have to friendly team cut now to win this round. It's the new thing. It's how you beat Vex on their own map.
You do wonder how they did well with the TK, especially losing Kimbe.
Yeah, honestly, that was atrocious. But Kizza, we forgive you. You won your team won the round. You get off for today. Now, can you win more than one round? Honestly, if this ends up going like a 5-1, and it's all because of that one round, I will cry. I'll have a meltdown. Not quite cry, but I'll be very, very disturbed.
So this is going to be the mining room and fireplace hallway.
Yeah.
The first defense that we're going to be seeing from this bomb site this time is going to be Vexed defending it. Typically, the strategy that you want to do to defend these bomb sites is have a really good stable upstairs hold. Losing control of that cigar lounge, that piano room early on, does come back to bite you in the end game, as you can 1UP can bring a buck up inside and start just ripping up the floor, which is what most teams do anyway, is to go up there and just start destroying all of the floor, getting rid of the anchors inside train, where typically the mirror windows would be set up, of course. Also, they're bringing Sophia, so she can be used to get rid of anybody in at the back of that cocktail lounge if they want to go for a quick skylight drop to gain control of the top floor quicker. They're also bringing Blackbeard, so he is going to be just primarily sat outside that single window and just try and get a pick. Again, Blackbeard's there just as a bit of a warning sign for the defending team, saying, you know I'm here, you can't pick me, I will gun you down. Proxa, though, is going to start the killing, getting the kill onto Mop.
And Mop has looked pretty good so far today, so that will be a loss that 1UP feel. When they're down 2-1, it's kind of to be expected you will lose a couple of your top fraggers very early on. If Kimbe or Mop go down, they do lose those kind of big shots that they've been relying on so far. Now that double wall is still reinforced, but they haven't yet chose to go for it. Quite interesting this time around, opting to go for the Hibana. So actually, 1UP basically doing the exact reverse of what we saw previously, or dropping the Thermite completely, going towards the Hibana again, which I quite like, because you basically get 2 charges down onto that reinforced wall, get yourself in, and then you still got something like the mirror window, which you can then use through, which is why I question the viability, or why you would go towards the Thermite over something like the Hibana in that case.
Yeah, exactly. Looking at attacking a fireplace and mining room, it's not bringing the Thermite typically because you don't need to get rid of that double wall beside red staircase, because you do have availability. White stairs is an option for you. Let's not also forget about the skylight drop, where typically if it was an upstairs hold... Oh, that was close. But typically for an upstairs hold, you just can't drop skylight and try and kill roamers because you're in the heart of the site and you're going to gun down straight away by anchors.
Very true.
You know, for this stage, you have multiple ways to get an upstairs, rather than for the upstairs attack, you just have to funnel your way in through red and then in.
Oh, there we go. Nigma firing in the head of Diff. I was slightly concerned when they sat up the stairs at the first one, because I thought, well, if they choose to push in directly here, they'd find themselves getting caught out. That's why I thought they would go for the double, like the breakdown onto that double reinforced wall, but clearly not. Opting instead, like you say, to hold on to it, and quite rightly so, have opened up those hatches now, so they have that visibility downstairs. 1UP are the ones currently with the advantage, 4 and 3 on the scoreboard in terms of kills. Don't think Nimra is aware of that guard. Is aware of the bomb glitch, so still going to lose that 1v1, even as the Blackbeard SKS getting that kill. Now, the extra rotation comes through. SKS finding himself under pressure, but not going to matter because his team are cleaning up for him. Proxy, EJ, both going to team up and bring down the last 3 members of 1UP to win themselves yet another round, 3-1 in favour of Vexed.
Good retake from Vexed. They did lose the upstairs control, but Cafe, that typically that mid floor, it is not primarily a hold where you have a lot of anchors. It is more done as a retake site, because there is multiple angles, that big massive double door leading in towards the red corridor, and then also you can retake from the fireplace, as you do have 2 soft walls which you can shoot open and then have different sight lines in towards the single window, and also the drop hatch, of course. And let's not forget about that there is multiple ways to get upstairs, may it be via the white stairs or also up the red to retake control of upstairs, and then you have control of hatch, you drop down and you just retake site from there. So that Cafe is a very retake style map, which is why I would argue that Cafe is a very stale map in the meta at the moment, because there's not a lot of different strats you can go for, which is why I hope, this is what I hope, and I'm sure a lot of the community hope as well, is that Cafe gets rotated out for a different map upcoming in the next ESL season rotate change. Hopefully, maybe Hereford we might see back in the
I'd love to see Hereford come back with a remake. Yeah,
that could be another one, because we know it's getting the map reworked first.
They're bringing Yacht back in as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they're bringing in the rank pool, yeah.
Yeah.
Or is it casual pool?
I'd be surprised to see it come all the way back into
No, it's not going to come in the ESL, not in the current state, no. But yeah, looking at the map reworks, it's going to be a big thing for ESL primarily, because now maps such that work in the meta, maybe such maps like, not necessarily House, because House was always one of them smaller maps, even though it was in ESL. But I would like to see a different map rotated in for Cafe.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser. Attackers dropped the diffuser.
Well, let's see how they choose to approach this one so far. 3-1 to Vex, they've said a couple of times now. They are the ones looking dominant on their own map, as we expected, to be honest.
Attackers recovered the diffuser.
Which does mean that final decider between the 2 teams will have to wait until LAN in that case. But it's a good kind of taster, I think, of things to come, because both teams have looked sharp at different points across these two maps. 1UP looking pretty big on pretty much all of Chalet. Admittedly slightly hindered by XKS and the huge plays that he was pulling off. And this map, he's been pretty quiet, so literally a scenery change has been the big difference, and EJ has been the one who's been stepping up for them. Yeah, different players adapt to different maps. We talked about how this map doesn't have them late rotates where he can rotate at his pleasure throughout the many staircases. There's not a lot of options, just the white stairs really is the only rotation where typically you would have just 5 men upstairs on site. Then you look at a map like Chalet, where he does have all them rotations, where he can rotate upstairs, gain control of master bedroom, and then use the hatch against the enemy team, of course. Kembe open up the kill line, is going to bring up a Pulse. Pulse is going to be used for the destructibility that we talked about, may it be in the piano room or also inside the bar area. Mop getting another kill for his team. That's going to be EJ out of the picture. That's going to be big, as now it is going to be down to Proxit, Dev, and also XKS. Pretty big one for them, like you say, getting those picks. The reason the Pulse also being super effective is because you're not only watching above you, you're also watching all the windows either side of you. So the amount of coverage that you get and the return on investment almost from that Pulse is enormous. However, XKS is going to find the Valkyrie, bringing down Nigma, going for that rotation that we've been speaking about so often. Did he see that Valkyrie camera inside that lobby? He must have, surely. Like, it was plain as day. It didn't seem to be that he went for it, though. Like, he looked at it, but then he turned away. I'll see. Bizarre. I think he might have shot it there and then, because I did hear the glass break. Anyway, 50 seconds to go. They haven't gotten themselves into a position where they can start retaking the site. XKS, if he gets his kill in the Mop, will blow it wide open, as it seems to be, as Mop just wasted all his ammo and he's going to get snuck up from behind. Boy. That's the last place you would expect the enemy team to be, roaming downstairs in Bakery. You've been speaking about those rotates, but XKS is making his own rotations at this point, using all 3 floors at his leisure. Kim Bates to get one down onto Proxy, which puts us into a 3 versus 2 in favour of 1UP here. Diff, a bit too close to the smoke, but looking for that angle quite desperately. SKS, though, is looking pretty big still. I think he's actually the only guy who's got any kills so far this round for his team. Oh! Oh boy. Has he got all 5 again? I think this is for the ace. This is for the ace. Kembe does get one. It is going to go down into a 1v1. XKS versus Kembe. He got it! Gets it! Is that another ace, yeah? I'm pretty sure that was another ace. We'll find out in the replay package at the end, but I'm 99% sure that he got all the kills in that round. Talk about hard carry. Not that it really matters, because he's stepping up once again. 9 kills now. It was an ace. Was an ace, we can confirm. So, someone stop the guy. But it's so bizarre, because you look at these two teams, and these are 2 of the best teams coming in as well. But SKS is making it look a cakewalk. 2 aces. He's having a very good game today. Extremely good day. We talked about where we didn't see this from him last week or the week before. This has been his night. This has been his night. No one else might stop it being his night is that IQ coming through from Mott. We mentioned it earlier on. How do you deal with the Vigil? Take away the IQ. That could be big for them. It depends how they use it, because if he gets picked up immediately, if Mott dies early on, of course that pick is just completely wasted on them. Yep, having that IQ is going to allow them to see exactly where he's going to be moving, of course. And I talked about it where if he is going to turn on his jammer to stop the drone seeing him, then IQ's going to see him. If he's then going to turn off his jammer to stop IQ seeing him, then the drones are going to see him. So either way, he's going to get spotted out so they know where he's going to be. And we know that 1UP have a very strong room clear, where whenever they know exactly where the guy is, they start pushing in as 2s, which we talk about that teams like Fable didn't do. You look at their meeting clearouts, they didn't work as a team. 1UP definitely revolve around having people in the position, and then they all go for the push at the same time, and from there you just can't stop these pushes. It will, however, be an upstairs hold, so they aren't going to be... I wouldn't imagine XKS is going to have a lot of roaming potential here rather than the mid-floor. But if they do go for the hunt and they try and hunt him, if XKS rotates down to the mid-floor, then it could come in clutch. But if XKS just plays it smart, sits in sight, which is exactly what he's doing, then that's going to be big. Quite smartly, so they know where the bomb is already, but still, XKS is probably the target they're going to be looking for, as he's the big worry for them, if nothing else. Oh, he caught him. He's seen a glimpse of that Vigil device as he does see it moving about. But that's going to be the bomb he's going to shoot Mop. And I believe that XKS does have a suspicion that it is an IQ shooting them. And this is where these windows are going to be the main objective for 1UP. Seems to be at least
window push for them, having this Capitao.
Oh, there we
Shuts
go.
down Kizza.
So despite Kizza being the one with the first shots, SKS still returns fire with confidence and picks up that kill. And again, that is the kind of thing that is going to win Vexed this game. IQ, not really doing the most ideal work, you could say so far. Not finding the time to catch the Vigil out. Even with that early scan, quite rightly so, and very smartly. What we saw instead was him rotate away, so he was out of range of that scanner, so that he wasn't going to be in a range where he could be caught out.
Oh, there he is.
Who needs scanners these days when you've got explosives? Grenades apparently are more than enough to bring down XKS. Willow, once again, I've seen his name pop up quite a few times in that kill feed today at crucial moments, providing the big kills for his team. Now, can they manage to push in? They've got a minute 20 to go. A is definitely their objective here as well, because they've got all this window control. If they use it properly and bounce between them, they should be pretty safe in going for it. Got to be aware of all the bullets raining down from Bar, though.
EJ could go for the quick jump out, but I would imagine that a Claymore will be waiting for him at the bottom of this window. It is going to be an east window take, so straight away, within 2 minutes, whenever you see Habana repel there, you should know. That's going to be such a bad mistake as he gets a double kill and still just going to waste more time. Just sit there, you're not going to get killed. That was...
He might do for the... Wow.
2v2 still, it could go either way. Let's see if Kimbe does spot Proxy just lying right below him. Willow is going to take the fight. Seems to be like different 1v1s going at this stage. Def does have that high power vector, high rate of fire. All he has to do is land one bullet to the head.
He knows he's there. Oh, if only he hadn't turned his gun there, it would have been a much safer spot. But Diff immediately on the rotate, and immediately he knows where he's moved to as well. He's heard him move. Who's going to win this raid? Oh, shoots the floor out below him there, I think, actually, and sends him flying. Won't be trying one of those jump outs again, I don't feel, here, though.
Messes it.
Got to go for the plant, though. And have they got the diffuser? The diffuser goes down. That is the end of that. And Vexed will secure map number 2. Even if Kimbe gets the return kill, 1-on-1 between these two teams. A fitting score, I would have to say, between the pair of them. Both sides deserving to take a map, I think, away on their respective maps. The first one definitely a lot closer than that second one.